Your detractors would call this branch stacking. Is that how you'd describe it?
No, look, well, I wouldn't. Unsurprisingly, I wouldn't. And, I think what we're seeing here is a very broad-ranging membership drive, really. I mean, I think we're seeing people from all different parts of the state. This concept of branch stacking is, it's given a sort of a pejorative connotation. And I think it's usually, there's no real definition for it. It's usually describing an attack on a particular branch or FEC, or moving people around left, right, and centre. And that's really not even in the same area of the library that we're talking about here. What we're talking about is wherever you're from in South Australia, if you share the party's values, the true party's values, not the ones that we invent because we want a career in politics. The very true core foundational values of the party, then, we want you to get involved in the process. Come, apply, join, get involved, and you're more than welcome.
There was a fascinating podcast recently by former Australian National Party Deputy Prime Minister John Anderson interviewing British author, judge and historian Lord Jonathan Sumption recently, which you might have heard. Lord Sumption observed that political parties used to be organisations where people from differing backgrounds but of similar political persuasion met and enjoyed collegial debates. However, these days, Sumption said, political parties are populated by people who mostly wish to impose their opinions on others. This explains their declining membership and rancorous meetings. Does this align with your experiences in South Australia, Alex?
Look, I think it would be hard to say no to that. I think there have been instances where, where the debate has become vigorous. It's often a good thing. But look, I think the problem I've always had is in the last 10 years or so, what we've seen here in South Australia has been an increasing drift towards the professionalisation of politics. That is, people who are career politicians, their staff members, being the ones that are involved at branch level, being the ones that are the ones that hold important office-bearing positions inside the party, to the exclusion sometimes of people from the real world. I think that's what's been missing in politics, generally in the last little period, but certainly, in the last 10 years, we've seen a drift into that, where really the path to Parliament has been a young person working in a parliamentarian's office, getting involved, getting elected as branch president and then standing for a pre-selection with no real life experience. Whereas perhaps 30, 40 years ago, it was more a question of coming back from the real world into the world of giving something back to the community by standing for Parliament. And that's what I want to see back. I want to see real people back in politics, not paid political staffers running the show because their boss wants them to do so.
And bringing real-world experience with them. I think that's what's missing in Parliament these days too. Now let's talk about Ron DeSantis in Florida. He's become famous for standing up for protecting such things as the innocence of childhood, families and freedom, and he isn't afraid to take on the biggest opponents like the Disney Corporation and, of course, the woke media. Is there a lesson in DeSantis's style for Australian Liberals, do you think, Alex?
Well, look, I'm an unashamed Ron fan. I'm sure you are too, Fred. I like the way he approaches it. I don't know why there aren't more in Australia. I really think that we do need to be in that space a bit more. I have this argument all the time. I don't see the point in kowtowing to the mainstream media. I think we've got to get out on the front foot and really preach the case and kind of make it heard. And I think what he does is cut through, and you can see the response. He's wildly popular in Florida. He's getting runs on the board. I think they had a $20 billion surplus last financial year, and Florida was the free state. People were flocking to Florida because of the manner in which he was going about it. So, look, I think we could use another 20 here in Australia of all makes and models. And, I think we'll get to that point. I think people are hearing what people like Ron DeSantis are saying, and they're listening in the United States, and we're never far away. I just would like to see that turbocharged, and who knows, maybe some of the new people that are joining the party in SA, maybe there's a Ron DeSantis